What does the law state about adultery?
Well, previously, adultery used to be a crime. It was decriminalized in 1919. After that, it was still a ground for divorce. However, a 1979 Divorce Act changed that. It's no longer a ground for divorce. It's a fact to take into account for irretrievable breakdown of marriage. And after 1979, basically the only application of adultery is in respect of the delictual claim, the acting in horarium for alienation of affection.
According to lawyers, what is the general consensus regarding the legislation of adultery?
Basically, there are two schools of thought. On the one hand, you've got an increase in the quantum awarded. There's a case, 2009 case, Gounder versus Greedy, where the innocent spouse was awarded an amount of 75,000 rand damages against the third party. On the other hand, there are numerous arguments against adultery as a delictual crime. Sections of the Constitution are used in support of that. For instance, the right to equality, right to dignity, right to freedom of expression, right to association. And also, if you take into account foreign jurisdictions, also have moved away from the delictual claim for adultery a long time ago. We are very archaic, if I can say it like that, in that approach.
Do you think that at some point the law must consider community mores?
The problem with community mores in South Africa is we are a very diverse community. So you're going to have to take into account different factors, different viewpoints. The thing about adultery is it originated as a Christian sin and was therefore prohibited. You cannot, in the current climate of this country, take into account community mores with respect to that, because not all communities feel there is something wrong with adultery. Also, if you take into account the international, would say, consensus regarding it, it's very difficult to take into account a specific group or a specific groups, and to get community mores into play to legislate adultery.